All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier eye hypnosis coach and your personal guide. So, for those of you who are regular viewers and listeners, and of course, watchers of the pod, you know that yesterday we had a bit of a technical snag, but this is the joy of using technology that any bug, any snag will be fixed eventually. And so here we are back again. As I'm recording this via Zoom, you get to watch me if you're watching this live on Facebook. Welcome. And of course, if you happen to be watching this later on our YouTube channel, the eye hypnosis healer coach speaks, right? So this is the name of our pod, and these are solo pods, of course, where I show up every day. I record this pod as a way. It's like a searchlight, right? Just to tell you, especially if you are a digital healer coach, if you're somebody who is struggling or somebody who is on the journey, it's always nice to have others who are like you on the journey, and listening to and sharing stories is a way to reconnect, to connect, to create new bonds, and to recognize that this is truly a journey. So there will be highs, there will be lows, there will be days where it feels like you're doing the most amazing thing. There'll be days like today where, for me personally, one is, of course, I had a really amazing session through the day. Today was day 7 of the IHNLP practitioner program. And it felt really, really good because I was working with a truly amazing group of people, people who have, shown up, people who have dedicated their time. We meet on Saturdays and Sundays, especially in level 1. So these are people who have, decided to show up, to learn the nuances, the really powerful skills of NLP or neuro linguistic programming and hypnosis. And it's been really fascinating to watch how people who come from different walks of life, people who are doing different things, some are, working in companies, some are starting a side business, some are homemakers, and the common thread here is that, each and every one of these folks have a desire to not only be able to learn these skills, but to be able to use them, to transfer them to other people, whether it's family or, whether it is colleagues, whoever it may be. So uh, this is something that I came to recognize several years ago, that, when you're building out projects which are, um, where you put a lot of your heart into it. The downside, the flip side, which quite often people do not talk about openly, is that, when you put your heart into programs, when you put your heart into projects and you're creating, just as much as you are creating, and that is 10, 10, 10, right? So, just as much as you're putting your heart into projects, there will come a moment where you recognize that the project is coming to an end. And there is sort of like, I'm sure you've heard of the expression postpartum blues. In this case, um, at one level, there is that, let's call it a tinge of maybe sadness, a tinge of letting go. And in letting go, there's a certain um, breaking that's happening. And so I could definitely tell that today I was feeling a little tired in the evening. But the good news is that I've come to accept that this is normal, right? It's totally okay to feel this way. And of course, you will feel it temporarily, momentarily. So, I've come to recognize that it is normal for this to happen. So maybe if you, as a digital coach, maybe you're somebody who is a healer coach. So, for you, healing is something that you really value. And along with that, as you have been focusing on healing, on helping other people, you also recognize that there is this possibility that, especially when you're building out a program, that momentarily you will feel a bit of a tinge of, it could be sadness, it could be, loss. For me, this program has been building, of course, when I zoom out, it's been building for over 17 years. Now, when I look at it, this program sort of came together. It started around about last year. In fact, I was talking to friends just recently, yesterday, and I was just telling them, that when I spoke to them a year ago, I had not thought about creating this program. Like the idea of creating this program this way was not even a distant memory for me at that point. Right? It was not something that I had even thought of briefly, vaguely. But interestingly, here I am a year later. We've now, give me a second. Excuse me. I hope the mic didn't catch too much of that. My apologies. I guess I'll know in the rerun how much of that you heard. But like I said, there's a lot of letting go. And I remember my first ever program that I ran. Um, there was a build up of, I think, about 2 weeks. We did the program over the course of 3 hours. I remember about half a day before the program, I lost my voice. I was not able to speak. And so my assistant trainer, my assistant coach worked with me and basically took my lines and helped me run the workshop. And literally for the next 2 days, I was in bed. Right? I was literally, as they say, sick as a dog, and I was in bed. Now, of course, things have changed. This is literally now decades later. And the good news is that I've come to recognize that it's totally normal for this energy. As much as there's a high, there's also a drop, and that's normal. And one of the things is I've come to accept it, right? So while I'm sharing this about myself to you, what I'm also reminding you is that it's good to take risks. It's good to to think of doing things that maybe make you feel uncomfortable. But when you do it, you will grow, right? Will it be painful? Sure, like that can be possible. But what's also important is to recognize patterns, right? So one of the things that I've noticed in the old days, if I say that now, old days, like back in the day, there was a tendency to kind of compensate by, eating more or eating rich foods and things like that. Now I can definitely say that I'm at that point where I'm starting to become more mindful of what I'm eating, basically everything that I'm consuming, especially after programs like this. So, as I'm closing off now for the moment, just a reminder that, especially if you are a digital healer coach, which means just somebody who really truly wants to make a difference in the lives of others, or maybe you're a fan of personal development, and to you, personal development is something that's really, really important. Just a reminder that, be kind to yourself. Okay. Because I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is graduation day where we finish level 1 of the IHNLP practitioner program. And then from next week, we'll be starting level 2. So wishing you all the very best on your journey, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. And just keep in mind that, if there's any way in which I can help you, if here's the thing, right? If you do have somebody you can reach out to and seek help and ask for help, please do that. If not, please reach out to me. And if there's any way in which I can help you, I'll be more than happy to. With that, of course, as you can tell, it's like the exhaustion is definitely showing. I can feel it. Um, but my intention to do this pod was, even more paramount. So I really wanted to do this. So just a reminder that always, always, always remember to live with purpose. And I look forward to seeing you in the next pod. Have a wonderful, wonderful day ahead, week ahead, year ahead. And as you know, these are daily pods, so I will be back tomorrow. With that, I will see you in the next one. God bless. Take care. Bye bye.